This episode is brought to you by Cartamax. Life on the front line requires you step up your game. Owned and operated by former Navy SEAL Sean Matson, Cartamax has designed just the right supplements for you and is offering American Party an exclusive offer. Buy one, get one free in your first order. Go to Cartamax.com and use the promo code American. That's Cartamax.com, helping you achieve your max.
Thanks, Cartamax.com, for helping me achieve my max.
You, Dan, you always help me achieve my max.
CLI is in parentheses in front of it, right?
Huh?
Climax,
Yeah.
asshole. Learn to spell words. It's their last opportunity.
You know,
Next time there's going to be consequences.
what are we gonna do?
I don't know. Fucking jump rope or some shit. I don't know. What do people do?
What do you do? What do you do when you get in trouble?
When I get in trouble,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really get in trouble. I'm an adult.
Yeah. You don't get in trouble.
By whom? Like, who would I be in trouble with? I guess I have gotten into a little bit of trouble recently.
You have?
But not me really getting into trouble. It's more that MVM thing we did, right?
Yeah.
The
You're
government smuggling people.
Yeah, it's.
Got a lot of updates on that.
I'll be honest. Like I can't think that what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah, imagine there's another scenario where children are being taken advantage of and abused for political reasons or some other bullshit. So since what was that, episode 29, the MVM episode?
Yeah.
And then I was on AJ last week. I don't even say his name on here. That's how fucking stupid YouTube is. When I was on the Jones show last week. That was on, what was that, Wednesday, guys? Yeah. Wednesday, right?
They don't know. They're fucking sleeping.
What's the date? Friday, before everybody left the office at CBP, there was a notice sent out to everyone that now all of the sponsors, the underage sponsors, are now going through an extreme vetting process.
Oh, they just started.
Yeah. Good Lord. And the phrase that was sent to me was, quote, "I think y'all rattled some cages."
Oh,
this goes back to something one of my old sergeants told me. He said that it's not what you expect that will happen. It's what you inspect that will happen, right? This is a very old maxim for the military and for, pretty much anybody in a leadership position. There's a number of different philosophies here. One is that, right? So you have to inspect people. You have to check them, make sure they're doing the right thing. The other thing is I think I mentioned it on this show to you before we had a conversation about it. There's a guy named James Dobson. It's Focus on the Families. His company it's some Christian nonsense that runs out of, I think, Colorado, maybe. I don't remember where it is. But anyways, one of the quotes he said in one of his books was, the more often you catch your kid doing the right thing, the less often you'll catch him doing the wrong thing, which is to say positive reinforcement goes a long way, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be your children, employees, people you lead, even your loved ones, significant others, the more frequently you say positive shit about them, the less frequently weird insecurities and just all that comes with that pops up, right?
Yeah.
You're just getting ahead of shit. And it's a lesson. It's so easy to get caught up in your day-to-day life and forget about that maintenance. You know what I mean? But
Well, look.
Speaking of maintenance, training is an important thing for people to do, right?
Where do you see that at?
I'm just saying it,
Where do you see that at?
just saying it out loud with my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like, so when we were in the military back in the day.
Oh, here we go.
There was a lot of.
You're going to get me on this.
No.
You're going to get me on this rabbit
I
hole.
just want people to understand what the fuck we're talking about here.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who, while deployed, would do weird shit to seem like cool guys.
Yeah.
Remove their name tapes or do this or do that. Some of it made sense, some of it didn't.
Yeah.
But it was for clout, right? It wasn't for any practical purpose.
Yeah.
And now there's a version of people in the civilian world that do that as well.
Well, here's the reality of it. Like, let's just go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Here's the reality of it.
It's not about no one's ever told anybody
No.
not to train. And I tell people this all the time when people have asked me about some comments you made. And like Dakota routinely trains with civilian people all the time.
No, look, I think civilians should train. I think
Of course they fucking should.
I think they should have as many guns as they fucking want. It's not the
dude.
Bill of Rights. It's not the Bill of Needs. It's the Bill of Rights, right? I think you should wear whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
but what I do think is
It's just kind of lame.
absolute
Guy wearing a
insane thing is to think that you all are the keepers of freedom. And here's
Right.
the reason I say this.
Well, look, everybody does have to do their part. That's why the
Everybody
Second
has to do
Amendment,
their part,
exists,
100%. That's why it's there.
But the smart
But-
thing to do is to find, like when it's time for the shit to go down, to find somebody that has been there before.
But I'm just,
right?
but I'm just saying, you just don't get to like this persona that you're a warrior that you give off. You don't get to be that without having earned it.
Right? Experience
Like,
as a warrior.
Like if you've never been fucking shot at, you don't know what it's like to be shot at. Don't tell me how you should react in a gunfight or how you should gunfight if you've never had a fucking bullet shot at you your entire
So
fucking
why do you
life.
think people are so butthurt about your comment? I mean, look, I do
Well,
think
I mean, maybe
do
I
think
haven't-
You
maybe-
could have been more clear about what you were trying to say.
Maybe I haven't. Listen, maybe I haven't. Maybe I don't have the experience to speak on gunfighting. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't have the background and the credibility to be able to talk about what it's like to be in a gunfight or to, have your life on the line. Maybe I don't have that. So, look, what happened was, here's the reality of it is I came out and I spoke on the guys who are bitching. And I just said that, hey, look, but here's my other problem with it is I want to triple down on this, that if all these people were protecting our country, then why do we keep having to deploy the National Guard who raise their right hand to serve to protect our country? Why, what do they do when something goes wrong at their house? Who do they call? 911, and someone
Right, yeah.
who serves comes and helps them.
Right.
So my point to it is that it's all cool, but understand that it's guys like Marcus Luttrell, Tim Kennedy, guys like fucking Rob O'Neill, guys like that, guys like you, like guys that went over and fucking did this and really lived this. Then what people did is they made video games after what people did.
Right, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't fucking forget that the reason that the military shit is cool and people like doing it is because real people went and fucking did it.
Yeah. But it is cool, by the way, and it's not like it
I
doesn't.
mean, it is cool, but here's the problem.
When dudes
why-
go out and play airsoft or train or learn and whatever the fuck, play war games, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. It doesn't bother me. But when it is kind of, I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem saying it's kind of fucking lame posting that shit on the internet and calling yourself,
No.
a fucking defender. Like, look, you should absolutely be ready to defend your country.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Every swing of dick. I mean, that's what was it? Emperor Hirohito said during World War II. No one will ever launch a land invasion of the United States
'Cause we got too many guns.
There'll be a rifle behind
Yeah.
every blade of grass, and that is not only is it true, but it's really important that it is true and
But
it stays true.
Yes,
right?
100%.
But you don't have to fucking walk around like you're the LeBron James of shooting guns.
No.
You know what I mean? It
just-
takes focus away. Hubris will get you killed
in
in a gunfight.
I guess my problem with it is this. My problem with it is not that people train, not that people like to wear gear or whatever. Like, I think do it, right? Have at it. But there's a reason that they love doing it.
Yeah, it's because it's awesome.
Well,
It looks awesome.
It looks awesome, but it's because they've never fucking been shot at. Like, how many times do you go out and throw your fucking kit on and throw your MBGs on and go fucking shoot?
It's funny. People ask me if I
Right?
want to go camping and shit. Sometimes, like, nah, I did that shit
How often do you do it?
professionally for a while, so I'm done. with
How
all
often
that.
do you hope you get in another gunfight? And, nobody who's ever been in a fucking real gunfight hopes to get in another motherfucking gunfight.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to get a stateside, just in my own home, but I don't want to be in combat again.
Well-
I mean, there's nothing to be gained from that. I agree.
Yeah.
And it's, I just think it's
I just think romanticizing war
right.
is a fucking atrocity. And people who think that war is fun and they think it's a fucking game and they think that it's all this, it's fucking not.
That's my real problem with it.
That's the problem.
It's because if you have that mindset where this is all just a fucking big joke, like you're doing it for clout on Instagram, and look, if you weren't doing it for clout on Instagram, you wouldn't be fucking taking like all these. I see how many pictures I saw of people, women in bikinis. Like, fucking honoring those who serve. Like, are you fucking serious? Post a picture of the flag or a gravesite and move on with your life. Yeah. It's the exact same thing, right? You're just looking for internet clout.
Yeah.
And it's not, that doesn't impress me at all. I do want everybody to be ready to fight. Yeah. I think it's a good idea. My other problem with this is that the presumption on a lot of these, the presumption from a lot of these people is that when it comes time to whatever the fuck is going to happen, some people call it a boogaloo, some people call it an insurrection. Some people call it whatever the fuck, right? They believe when it comes time to do that, that all of us combat vets are going to be the ones coming to fuck them up.
They're so stupid.
Do you honestly fucking believe that?
Yeah.
Like how could you ever believe something like that?
Well, in the reality,
after everything that's happened, for the first time, maybe in American history, the vast majority of people who served in a conflict, came out pretty much immediately afterwards and said, you know what, this was all fucking stupid. Not just privates who were disenfranchised and had a bad time, not just people who lost people. Everybody from the top to the goddamn bottom agreed on this shit. So if you're that honest with the conflict, right, and how it went down, and fucking nobody dislikes the government more than people who fucking served the government. I promise you that.
But then you see these guys who are like, well, you know, you're the exact thing that the reason I train. Well, okay. Oh, what, me? Like, what you don't realize is, oh, you know, what you think you're something because you went and fought a war for oil. Well, motherfucker, if I didn't, they'd come back with a draft and your dumb ass would be over there fucking doing it.
But
you know what I mean? Like,
to be honest, nobody is sitting over in Iraq or Afghanistan or Syria or Africa or any of those other places, Yemen, where we happen to be, thinking about American politicians.
Yeah, no shit.
You're thinking about the men and women to your left and right. This is my family, and I'm going to protect them at all costs.
100%.
And it seems like, I mean, look, to be fair, if you're a civilian and you don't know this stuff, it can seem, it could be easy to become cynical about that because you see two wars actually that are completely pointless, that were clearly motivated by things other than righteousness, right, justice, and you see a bunch of people participating in it, talking about their experiences and celebrating their experiences a lot of ways, both the good and bad. That could seem like glorifying that war, but that is not what it is.
Yeah, but understand that, like, again, the game you play in your controlled environment is the game that we lost all of our friends in real fucking life. The game that you play for fun is the life that we fucking live for real.
Right.
And that's the issue I have with it.
But how do you let's map this onto something else, because it's not exactly.
Because I don't have an issue with like I think everybody should train. Like fuck, I like going. Like I shoot with all my friends. I grew up shooting, dude. Right?
I mean,
but you don't have to act like you're some fucking, you know, end all be all operator.
Delta SEAL.
Some Delta SEAL. Air Force Delta SEAL.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, look, we dealt with quite a bit of stolen valor over the last 20 years. Like, not just weirdo homeless people that find shit on the side of the road. I'm talking about people that are super malicious about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is what that is. I don't think people are trying to steal valor. I think they think it's dope as fuck. I mean, people wear basketball jerseys, too, with their fucking favorite player's name on the back. Why wouldn't they? And I'm not saying they glorify any one individual. And there's certainly nothing wrong with glorifying the American warfighter and trying to be like that person, because I think they're exceptional people. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
not
for sure.
us. We're shitbags.
Yeah.
But by and large, the American warfighter is pretty fucking dope, right?
Oh, 100%.
Some of the most incredible stories you'll ever hear about any human beings happened
for sure
in those ranks. So I get it. I get that part of it. But and I'm not even asking you to be respectful. I'm just saying, if somebody that walked that walk says like, hey, it's kind of weird that you're fucking taking selfies on the internet.
We make fun of each other in the military for gear.
I don't understand why. Oh, yeah, dude, if a guy shows up, do you know how much hell Rudy Reyes has gotten in his life about the shit that he does, about showing up with all his Gucci flawed bullshit and his fucking cool guy sunglasses? He's been getting lit up for I'm not even kidding, 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years now he's been getting lit. He joined at 17. He's 47 now, I think. Yeah. He's been getting lit up for literally 30 years, and he fucking doesn't care. Yeah. Because that is how we communicate to one another.
Yeah. It's like fucking just busting each other's balls.
Like, you think because Dakota has a Medal of Honor that you can't talk shit back to him in a fun way? He's not like trying to make you feel like a dick. He's trying to be a dick, so you'll be a dick back to him.
Yeah. Like I loved all the shit that they talked on my.
A lot of it was really funny. The only thing that really bothered me was the part where they think that we're gonna fucking come get their shit.
But that's
fucking crazy, dude.
Well, that's also like, Yeah, I mean that's the part. Those are the people we're talking about.
Well, it's like apparently Michael Flynn.
Yeah, I mean you got Michael Flynn calling on.
He's intimated that he wants some kind of military coup to happen,
Yeah.
I guess. I haven't seen this yet. And then the Oath Keepers, this clown show, has intimated the same, that we're ready. Put me in, coach. Like, you're not ready.
Yeah,
I promise you, if an actual civilian like that led insurrection were to happen in a real way, like an armed way, that shit would be over in a day.
Oh.
1 day.
2 seconds.
It would be over.
Bro,
I mean,
2
look, there might
seconds.
be some kind of insurgency, but an insurgency only works if the people, the public that aren't involved in the fighting, help you. That's the only way it can work. Like, you have to be hidden. You have to blend in amongst the crowd. And if people are pointing at you, right, saying he did it, and that's about where everybody is. I don't think anybody, for the most part, was happy about that stupid shit that happened on January 6th. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All of those motherfuckers should be in jail. That's
I'm with
fucking
you.
stupid as shit. So,
Yep.
yeah, whatever. I mean, it's just not, that's just not how it is. That's not who we are. I mean, maybe some of the younger crowd are super bought into the fucking government shit. I don't know about that, but it wasn't. I mean, all we did the entire time we were in the military is sit around and talk shit about how we hated the government.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we fought because we got there. Like, I would say this is probably a pretty common thing.
I'll tell you this. Look, on 9/12, all these motherfuckers wanted us to go to war.
For sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to fucking armchair quarterback right now, but on 9/12, there wasn't a person that had a fucking pulse around here that wasn't ready to go to fucking Iraq
Right.
and Afghanistan and fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the problem is like, oh yeah, now we sit back here and blah 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 blah, you know? And it's like, well, don't forget that, you know, y'all were all in on it too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was beating the drum.
Everybody was beating the fucking war drum, you know what I mean?
But, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's your
Your
is that
sound's
mine?
on.
How did my
Yeah.
sound come back
Well,
on?
I don't
didn't
know.
even press
What'd you
that
do?
button.
What the fuck'd you
I
do?
think I'm being hacked by Jesus. So, you know, it's
But either way, back. Look, I'm not anti-Second Amendment.
No, of
like
course
I
not.
am not against people not wearing fucking gear or not training this and that. Like that is 110% against what I believe in. But I do think that if it offended you, you're probably one of the people I'm talking about.
well, yeah. I mean, I saw the people I saw retaliating, if you want to call it that, about it were they would be better off in the gym than at the gun range.
Yeah, it's like I want to look at some of them and be like, hey, bro, I appreciate your effort
gotta
and
be
your
able to-
training,
you
but
gotta be
like
able to
we
hump.
don't need your 56-inch fucking waist out here thinking that
Yeah.
you're going to protect us.
You got to be able
Stay
to
at the house.
You got to be able to hump it about 15, 30
Yeah.
miles, then fight after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that and shit. I mean,
Understand, like, if there's a real war, you're not going to be able to drive up to 50 meters from where you're going to have to shoot, and then
yeah. I mean, even right now, it would be a struggle for me.
fuck, it's a struggle for me.
Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
shit. And the other people that I saw retaliating were people who profit from the industry.
Well, of course, like
Which is
you've
kinda
got like a
sad.
couple of these guys who like
Like
just
people
profit
that
from the
know
industry.
you,
Yeah.
people that know you and know that you're not anti-2A, but tried to make that point because they were afraid. This is cancel culture bullshit.
Yeah.
They were afraid that their fucking followers who buy all their shit or subscribe to their platforms or whatever it is are
Yeah.
going to get butthurt about it. Instead of just applying the principle of charity, which is to accept someone's statement with its best possible meaning.
Yeah.
And if you have questions about it, just ask them.
I love the people who just came at me and were like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and like, you know, like there were people like actually talking shit that like yeah, I mean, like some of the comments were like, oh yeah, you did so good at fighting, look, you're, you know, ask your teammates about that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I hope everyone had, before we get into the main story here, I just wanted to address that. I hope everyone had
great long weekend.
I hope they had, I hope they had a peaceful Memorial Day, and whatever it means to you, I hope that you were able to express that.
Yeah.
Exercise those demons or celebrate your friends' lives or whatever it is that you like to do. I like I got to be honest, I'm conflicted about it. I was talking to my old first sergeant, Joe Singerhouse, about this last night. It's still weird for me to hear people say Happy Memorial Day, but I know they don't mean it in a bad way. They're just trying to be fucking polite, kind, or whatever, or respectful. It's weird to me to be around. It's like a big deal to barbecue and go out on the lake on Memorial Day because it's like the kind of the unofficial beginning of summer, and it's hard for me to focus sometimes. You know what I mean?
You know
what? I want people to do that stuff.
Yeah,
right.
But you know what I don't like about the thing I don't like.
Because that was the whole point, right?
Like, but I mean that like you know the thing that I like. The reason like I fucking like honestly I hate fucking this like this weekend of the year is like I didn't lose anybody on this day. So why the fuck am I feeling down on a day like I know the days that I think I try to live every day in honor of those guys. I try to think about those guys and take a moment every single day to remember the guys that fucking gave the sacrifice. When I'm having a bad day, I try to pull it back around and I try to remember that guess what? No matter how bad it is for me here today, look at the guys who fucking died at Chosin Reservoir.
Yeah.
Right? Look at the shit that they went through. Look at the things that our teammates, our guys went through the last moments of their lives. No matter how bad it sucks here, it'll never suck that bad. But the thing is like I just think like like Memorial Day is like it's just like why would I be sad on Memorial Day? I didn't lose anybody that day, right? Like I remember the guys every fucking day.
But I feel it the whole time.
Well,
for whatever reason, I don't know if it's all the imagery, if it's all the conversation.
it's because we're told to.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean from usually about, and obviously people know me as someone who's not exactly emotional.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of a robot, autism, that whole thing, but this like the whole week leading up to this, and then there's a little bit of hangover after it. I still feel it, and it's difficult to. And I try really hard at this. I put a lot of thought into it, and I'm sure it comes off as weird sometimes, but I really try to let the two things coexist. My shit, right, that's going on in my head, and the fact that people are enjoying the whole purpose of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, I mean,
man, I'll never
imagine cooking a great dinner for somebody and then getting pissed off that they're enjoying it. That doesn't make any sense at all. Dude, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be some fucking stick in the mud cunt that's upset that people are enjoying the goddamn freedoms that we provide.
So I'll tell you this, man. I came home and so I used to wear the bracelets. I had them, two of my teammates on my left hand, two of my teammates on my right hand.
Well, now it would be all up and down my fucking arms.
Well, exactly. But like, so like I used to wear those, and man, I'll tell you, I was going in one day. And I was going in to grab my daughter. My daughter is in school, is at her little school. And she comes running down the hallway. She's so excited to see me. It was like on a Monday because I was just picking her back up. And I went out to go grab her. I was so excited to see her. And I looked down and I seen that bracelet. And it fucking instantly took that joy from me.
Yeah. But that's
you know what I did with those bracelets?
Put them somewhere, I guess.
I fucking, next time I was skydiving, I threw them out of the fucking air. You know, because guess what? Like, they were around my wrist like fucking handcuffs.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. I had this guy, I was speaking at this speech, and this guy stood up at the end of it, and he said, man, how do you feel going out and, you know, you're giving this speech telling the story about your teammates, you've had a book. How do you feel knowing you're making money off your dead teammates? You know what I told him? I said, man, I feel good. I'm going to make as much fucking money as I can off my dead teammates because guess what? That's fucking what they would want me to do.
Yeah, you would hope so.
That's exactly – if you died today, what would you want?
I mean, it's hard to put yourself in that mental set, but I certainly wouldn't.
You think they died and they wanted you to be miserable?
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want anybody sitting around moping about me, but that's – in reality, that's not how it works either, right?
Well, I mean –
I think the most difficult thing for me to ever get my arms around was like it felt like betrayal to forget.
No, I don't. But how do you forget? You don't forget. You fucking go out and make the most out of the fucking life. I mean, dude, we've seen. Here's the fucking here is the kryptonite, the kryptonite that we know exists. The whatever you want to call it, the fuel that we have that no one else has, is that we've got we're so lucky, man, that we've got to see the cost of freedom. So we should fucking be making the most out of it. We know the cost of it. We know what a bad day really is. People don't. You imagine these people out here who think that a bad day is when their car breaks down or when they have like a little inconvenience, man. Like, dude, we've been there where motherfuckers are just wishing they get another fucking day to live.
Yeah.
And like, we've got to see that. So like, we got to come back and we got to have the best day we can every day because, dude, none of us went over there to die. And you to come back and be sad for us. I mean, think about this. The guys that got to die in combat for this country, I mean, they're kind of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I've felt. I mean, that's just your survivor's guilt talking, though.
Dude,
I mean, that's not.
they
that's
are
not,
the lucky ones.
That's not reality.
I mean, I'll tell you this.
Reality is that you're lucky to be here with your family, right?
Well, 100%. But let me ask you this. If you were going to die, how would you want to fucking die?
Definitely not in a fucking hospital when I'm 80.
So there you go.
You know what I mean?
So there we go.
So I guess it just depends on your perspective. I mean, I'm sure
when
that
you were serving over there, how would you, like, you would have gave your life in a fucking moment's notice.
Right.
So that's my point. Is that at the end of the day, man, we're so lucky because we got to see what the cost of freedom is. We get to come back and stay focused on what really matters. And you know, there's not one person who died for this country that would be like, hey, man, I want you to fucking be down for me.
Yeah. No one would say that. That's a insane thing to think.
No one would even want that.
But it is, I mean.
And honestly, they'd be kicking your ass right now.
Probably.
They'd be kicking your ass.
But there's a struggle to be had here too. I mean, it's seeing what the country's becoming. Right, that the flag of the last line of defense against tyranny seems to have been co-opted by a bunch of people who've never been to war before. You know what I mean? Like that's probably what you're talking about when you made that post. Even if you were doing it in jest, I'm sure there's some truth.
No, the part that hurts the most is that these guys get to walk around and try to claim the same title that we do, but they don't have to live with the fucking demons that we got by becoming an operator. They don't have to live. They don't wake up with the nightmares that we fucking have. They don't wake up with the guilt of losing guys left and right of you because you could have been a little bit fucking better, right? Like that's the part that I fucking get so mad at these guys about. And you know what? Maybe I'm jealous of them. Maybe I'm fucking jealous. Maybe I'm jealous that those guys get to fucking go out and operate and they get to walk around and claim the title, but they don't have to live with the fucking the consequences of actually being a fucking operator.
Maybe you're jealous. Maybe
I'm jealous.
I'm afraid for them.
I'm jealous.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I'm
afraid that they'll have to live with what we do someday.
Well, it's not just about living with it. I'm afraid that they're going to bite off some shit that they can't chew at some point, right? And that we're all going to pay the price for that.
Yeah.
That does concern me. But again, to circle back on all this shit, you should train not only your shooting skills, but also your body, right? Make sure you're in pretty good shape, at least.
This is the winning post right here from BT Bates.
Oh, here we go.
This is true. You know what? You are right. You said it 100% right. You're right. I am complaining that the special ed kids get to call themselves high school graduates.
But I'll tell you this, there's some fucking people that I served with that I wouldn't want to again, and there's some people that I haven't served with that I would in a fucking heartbeat, right? 100%. So this isn't like a monolith. It's not like nobody who's ever served in the military knows. I mean, a lot of cops have never served. They've been in gunfights. They know what it's like. I mean, obviously that's another kind of service. I mean, there are people that have been in like B.J. Baldwin, for example. He's never been in he's never served the government in any capacity ever. But he's been in more gunfights than a lot of the dudes I served with have.
100%.
Which is one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he happened to win it because he was out there fucking training all day. But he wasn't just training at the range. This dude is a fucking badass that's in shape and shit.
Yep.
And he also prepared mentally for that stuff. That's what really bothers me. If you think it's a game, then you're not really prepared. So when somebody with actual experience calls you out and challenges you, your response shouldn't be to get butthurt about it. It should be like, you know what, maybe I need to do better.
Yeah.
Or maybe he can go fuck himself, right? Either way. Yeah. But I think, like if Michael Jordan came up to you and said, hey, your jump shot's a little fucked up. Yeah. Would you say, fuck Michael Jordan, man? What, am I not allowed to shoot baskets anymore? I'm not allowed to shoot basketball because I'm not an NBA player? It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Of course that's not what Michael Jordan is saying.
Yeah.
He's saying to fucking shoot your shot better.
Yeah.
Be better. That's it. Just be better. Anyways.
What is it? What is it? Hold on. I like to be better.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What did she say?
Oh, you're talking about that
Jessie?
thing Jessie always does?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is she making fun of when she does that? Is it Ivanka Trump?
No, Melania.
Melania. I don't know. I don't know.
I
the
just
difference
want
between those two
to
people.
be better.
I don't know the difference between all those Trump people. Although, didn't Trump make some announcement that he's going to be reinstated as president in August?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking
August.
Christ, man.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Well, let's get into. So, well, first off, we what do we?
We'll get into this first, and we're going to go a little bit longer today anyway. So, and again, the MVM Inc. thing, the government-sponsored human trafficking shit. There's more to that story. We're going to be talking about it on Friday this week. We're going to do a whole episode Thursday detailing the new information that I have. Essentially, Catholic Church in Texas is involved. In Brownsville, there are these youth detention facilities, and the company that's running them. I've been trying to figure out why. Why the fuck would somebody go to all this effort for kids? Because they can't vote. It's either something super bad, like sexual fucking slavery and shit like that, which is pretty common, or it's about money, or it's about both.
I mean, a lot of shit got busted up because they got, because homegirl in there. Yeah. So like they got to start their own new ring.
That's possible. It certainly is, but
they got to start the new farm.
This company that's doing this shit since at least 2016.
Yeah.
They make about $250 million a year.
Fuck me.
That's $1.25 billion since 2016 that this company has made to detain these kids and not answer questions. I've been told by CBP that they're not allowed to approach any of their facilities, that they operate essentially like an embassy with diplomatic immunity. Even HSI, the investigative special agent wing of ICE, won't go near them. We're going to detail all this with pictures and all kinds of other bullshit on Friday. But for now, we're going to talk about Canada, but not really about Canada. I love Canada. I love the people up there.
Yeah.
Canadians are fucking dope-ass people.
Canadians are badass. They taught me this line one time, tarps off.
Oh, what's that mean?
It's when you take your shirt off.
Yeah.
Tarps off.
To get into a row, to get into a fight?
Like tarps off. We taking tarps off? We're going tarps off, they say? What's his name? Jared
Keeso from Letterkenny. He did this, I don't know if it was a podcast or a radio show, but he was talking, he just went through, the guy was going down all the list of Canadian slang and asking him what it meant. Because apparently in some of the smaller towns, there's a whole different set of slang. I mean, it's like anywhere else, right? But they have
slang.
This all like 10-ply.
Yeah.
It's your softest toilet paper. Texas size 10-4. That obviously makes sense. Some of these things the Canadians say are fucking hilarious.
Canadians are the funniest.
We're not good at slang. Our slang is all like kids on the internet making shit up now.
Yeah.
Their slang is actually fucking clever.
Like what's the slang that these kids say around here? They're just new things.
Sus.
What?
You're sus. Instead of saying suspect, like you fucking you took one syllable off. Shut the fuck up.
They got this one thing they say. What was it?
Like the English have. There's like 4 different layers to their slang. It's very well thought out.
Yeah, they they got this one like. Now it's like bet. Like they just like.
Oh, they say no cap.
No cap.
Like cap means you're lying for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
know why the fuck it means that. And then no cap means you're telling the truth. Fake Dan, you got something on that? Turn it on, buddy.
Yep.
There we go.
I have no idea what it means, but they keep, when they greet each other, they go, sheesh.
What's that?
Wow.
I have no idea.
Are they making fun of the state representative or the state senator from The Wire? Remember that guy? Shit. But maybe it's just like a fucking updated version of that.
It might be, yeah.
We'll
Dude,
find out.
I'm gonna
We got to hire somebody that's like 20 years old and have them investigate what all this shit means because I want to know.
Yeah. Yeah, I want
And
to
if
be
it's
able to
clever,
speak-
I'll give you props. But if it's fucking stupid, I'm gonna make fun of you.
I want to speak that language. Hey,
That seems like I mean,
Is it on
just,
Babbel?
You should just learn Mandarin.
is it on Babbel?
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if
Youth slang on Babbel. We'll
Youth
have to look
slang
later.
on Babbel.
So, anyways, Canada. Last Friday, the bodies of 215 children, some as young as 3 years old, were discovered buried near the Kamloops residential school in Canada. Bodies were discovered using ground-penetrating radar And more bodies are expected to be found in the ongoing investigation. Plans are being made to have forensic experts exhume the bodies, identify them, and repatriate them. I don't know where they're being repatriated to. I think a lot of these people were indigenous, or most of them, or all of them, actually. So official records show that 51 children died while in custody of the Kamloops Indian Residential School between 1919 and 1964. Now, those are death certificates that were issued, right? 215 bodies have been found so far, which is a lot more than 51.
Yeah.
So people were kids were dying and they weren't being reported for some reason.
Yeah, it's like 199 more.
Yeah.
Than that.
That's not even close. The Kamloops Indian Residential School was established in 1890 and was operated by the Catholic Church until 1969. I don't know if the Catholic Church has any kind of history with doing weird shit with kids.
No, not at all.
Despite direct requests, the Catholic Church has refused to formally apologize for the abuses that occurred within the schools. As recently as 2018, Pope Francis refused a direct appeal for an apology made by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Now, I don't know why they want an apology. What good is that going to do?
Yeah, why don't they put somebody in fucking jail?
Yeah, maybe.
How about a sentence?
Maybe
how about a charge?
Maybe the Catholic Church is an ongoing criminal enterprise, and people that are affiliated with it can be prosecuted under the RICO Act in America, right? Since they're moving child rapists around, seems like a fucking reasonable thing to do. And now they're helping illegal immigrants, which we'll get to on Friday.
Do you think all this stuff with kids? You know, all this stuff has to be. It's all got to be related.
Do you know who Jack the Ripper killed? Prostitutes. You know why? Because nobody gave a fuck. He was a murdering sociopath.
Yeah, but these are kids.
And he was a murdering sociopath, and he was looking for the least protected person, somebody that had nobody to go to, right? And who in the fucking 19th and 20th centuries had less of a support system than Native American children or Native Canadian children or whatever? Like this is the easiest thing for the Catholic Church to pray. I remember that fucking story that came out of Milwaukee, the big fucking first pedophile story in America.
Yeah.
It was at a school for the deaf and blind because the kids couldn't communicate with their parents. That's right. They prey on the weakest among us, and it shows exactly who they are as people. And the people that protect them are just as bad. Canadian Indian Residential School System. The purpose of the school was to forcibly remove Indigenous children from cultural influence of their families and assimilate them into Canadian culture. Oof. The network of boarding schools were funded by the Canadian government's Department of Indian Affairs and administered by the Catholic Church. So the Canadian government was paying the Catholic Church to kidnap and brainwash Indigenous children. So I don't know why Justin Trudeau is asking the Catholic Church for an apology. He should be asking, like his dad, who was prime minister twice before, or any of the other assholes who led that country. The network of boarding schools were funded by the Canadian government. An amendment to the Indian Act of 1894 made attendance to the schools compulsory for First Nations children. The system was active for over 100 years, and roughly 150,000 children were placed in the schools over its lifetime. In the 1930s, approximately 30% of Indigenous children were attending the residential schools. And they were intentionally located far away from Indigenous communities to minimize contact between the children and the families. Children were further isolated from their families through the use of a, quote, pass system, which kept their families confined to reserves. The last federally operated residential school was just closed in 1996. And in 2015, the school system was officially declared a form of cultural genocide.
It should be noted that Justin Trudeau's father, Pierre Trudeau, was actually working in government while this school was open in the Canadian Parliament.
Yeah, he was not just working in Canadian Parliament. He was the prime minister.
He was prime minister, but that was after the school closed. But he was an active member of the Canadian government.
The school closed in 96, it said.
Oh, I think it's 69. Then yes, he was prime minister while it was open.
So let me ask you this. So we go back, like, dude, Nazis are still getting fucking prosecuted.
Yeah.
So why?
Well, I mean, none of these people. Well, there might be some of them alive. Who knows?
In 96?
No, I mean, well, this school. There's no. We'll see what the evidence turns up. There's no evidence yet that says anybody was murdered in 96. Right? It could have been a long time ago, and maybe the point of the show, or the point of the school changed over time. And it was something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see, right? We need to look at the evidence on that.
Yeah, we got 215 kids and only 51.
Well, we've got 215 kids so far.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably going to be about 10 times that many.
Ooh.
Right? I mean, it's going to be a lot. And did I say 69? Somebody said I said 69 in the audience. No. It was Trudeau's dad was prime minister, 72, I think was his first run? 80. I think he was 72 and then again in the 80s.
So he was Prime Minister of Canada, 68 to 79.
There it is.
And then 80 to 84.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah. Good for him. Yeah, so he was definitely in charge of that shit at some point for a considerable amount of time, right? What was his last term? 80 what? 80 to 84. Good Lord, man. So there have been, I mean, look, this is nothing new. As I said, in 2015, the schools were declared a form of cultural genocide, so everybody knew they were fucked already.
Yeah.
But it gets worse now that people are dead, but I want to go through some of the ways that this was already fucked up, the ways that we already knew about, because this is the first time I've ever heard of this.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a sec. First up, we're going to do these sponsors, get this out of the way. Ghostbed.com/Drinking Bros, best bed in the world.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got 30% off site-wide. We always talk about it, but the Luxe free cooling pillows, cooling technology in the Luxe. We also have the cooling sheets. Ghost Bed is just so amazing.
You know what?
20-year warranty.
Yeah, Rich Bernstein came in the studio, did a show the other day. He's their chief marketing officer, and he was. I didn't know this before. The shredded pillows that they sell, you can pull some of the stuffing out, or you can put more. They'll send you more if you call them to put more in if you want the pillow to be a different shape. That's pretty good fucking customer service.
That's really badass.
Their sheets are great. Mattress protector is great. The adjustable base is great. If you get the adjustable base, that bitch is 40% off.
0% down financing, pay as you go, 36 months.
Provided you have decent credit. If you got like a
credit.
shit credit rating,
you're
then you're
fucked.
going to pay. Nah, you're not fucked. You're going to pay something more, but it's not going to be it's not going to be anywhere close to what you would pay on the open market.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Raycon. I was just using those.
Dude, Raycon is
This
badass.
morning.
I got to tell you, my Raycons,
They don't fall out of your ears.
they don't fall. Like, these are actually like headphones that do not fall out of your ears. Like, you can run in them, work out in them. I mean, they are badass.
Yeah, and I'm going to be on a boat all summer, right? As many times as possible, I'm going to be on a boat.
Yeah.
Love being on boats.
Do you know how to swim?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to make sure you wear.
I wear floaties.
Yeah.
But 4 of them,
Okay.
like double up on each one.
Okay, yeah, because I don't want anything to happen to you. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, but I do. Out on the lake, got a boat. Fucking sound system's loud as shit.
You bought a
Right.
boat?
Yeah,
Thanks for the invite.
you're welcome. But that's why I was asking you about it this weekend. So, anyways,
You didn't ask me about coming to your fucking boat.
well, you're always welcome. Maybe not now with this attitude. Get your shit straight, and then we'll figure it out. But yeah, we're gonna be on a boat all summer long, and you know me, I'm a book on tape guy. Everybody's partying and fucking drinking and hanging out and fucking listening to loud music, and so am I. But then I'll pop in the Raycons and listen to a book.
Yeah.
And like everybody's like, "Hey, you doing good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking great, man. Doing my thing, you're doing your thing. We're doing it together. It's great." They really do block out a lot of that sound. The sound quality is really good.
That's kind of like sex.
Explain.
You're doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. We're doing it
Oh
together.
yeah, I mean, look, you just got to have a mutual goal, and that's to enjoy each other's
Do you wear
company, right?
earpods?
AirPods?
Do you wear earphones when you're having sex?
Oh no, not anymore.
No.
Not since, the incident.
Yeah, us.
So I'm listening to the books on tape, listening to our own shows, like doing editing work. It's
Yeah.
tough. So we go on the boat, right? It's loud as
Connects
shit.
to your internet.
Yeah,
your,
connects-
to your computer.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth. Get crisp sound, powerful beats. They look great. Look, I take it out. I don't even charge it the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I use them every single day, the entire weekend. I just did this weekend, and I still haven't charged them yet. And I used them this morning on the flight back here. So the battery life is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's the best battery life on a pair of any kind of headphones I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, again, I just want to go back to, like, you can run in these things. Like, they're not gonna fall out. Like any of the other I call them earpods. Like, but because I don't think they're headphones. But any of these other things that go in your ear, they all fucking fall out. Like when you start sweating, they just fall out, and then it's a pain in the ass, right? These, man, like I haven't had one problem, and I've even tried to have problems with them.
Yeah, same. Same. I've really put them to the test, and I'm very satisfied with their performance. So,
I even wear them when I'm doing fucking puzzles.
well, that's weird.
Why?
But that
You
you
talk
would
about a
even-
test?
I don't know
You
why
get
you
sweating
would.
when you can't find that one fucking piece?
I just don't know why you would.
You don't know the test.
I don't know why you would bother saying that. That's weird. So listen up. Raycon's offering 15% off all their products for our listeners, and here's what you got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/American Party. That's BUYRAYCON. Buyraycon.com/American Party. There you'll get 50% off your entire order. It's such a good deal. You want to grab a pair and a spare. 15% off at buyraycon.com/American Party. Buyraycon.com/American Party. All right.
Eric wanted to know if these headphones are okay for operators. I wouldn't know. I'm not an operator.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
See, now that's a good joke.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that one.
I like it.
That's a good dig. Let's see. So back to this fucking shitty organization. Just to restate, it is called, wait, where is it? I got to find the actual name. The Kamloops Residential School. KAMLOPS Residential School, in case you want to look it up and do some of your own research. So before we ever found out about all these kids dying there, we already knew this, right? We knew that within the school system, children were subject to physical, mental, and sexual abuse from teachers and administrators. That's nothing new. And any kind of thing the Catholic Church is involved in is certainly nothing new. And any kind of administration over at-risk youth, whether they be kidnapped in this case or just, right, corporal punishment was seen as the only means of civilizing the indigenous children. And was also used to deter runaways. Corporal punishment, for those of you who don't know, it means if one person does something, everyone gets punished. All right. Students were forbidden from speaking their native languages, even amongst themselves, and would face corporal punishment if caught speaking anything besides French or English. Survivors report being beaten or forced to eat soap when they were caught speaking their native language. The schools also forced Christianity on the students and would severely punish them for practicing any non-Christian faith. Families would be, and again, I just want to remind you, this happened just north of us in Canada, and it didn't stop until 1996, until a lot of us were alive. Most of us probably were alive based on the demographics of this show. So this isn't like old shit. And it's not far away. This isn't like sub-Saharan Africa where there are warlords everywhere. This is the Canadian government 30 years ago.
Did somebody like so the kids were forced to go there, or the family sent them there?
They were forced
This is fucked.
to assimilate them into Canadian culture.
This is fucked.
So until families would be denied visitation for months or years at a time, and children were often forbidden from returning to their original communities for holidays due to the school's goal of limiting cultural influence. Until the late 1950s, residential schools relied on the forced labor of the students to maintain their facilities, although this was presented as training for artisan skills. Now that just sounds like the military. One parent reported that when their son returned home, he was unable to read or write due to him being used solely for manual labor while at the school.
The fuck?
Due to overcrowding, poor sanitation, lack of medical care, outbreaks of influenza and tuberculosis were common. Federal policy tied enrollment numbers to government funding, like that No Child Left Behind bullshit Bush pulled. I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, that was
it's the same. Like, you really think, what did you think was going to happen when you incentivize test scores? The teachers don't teach kids shit except for the test.
Yep.
And they don't learn a goddamn thing. Anyways, fucking stupid bullshit. Excuse me. Federal policy tied, they knowingly would enroll sick kids just to boost their numbers. In a situation with poor sanitation, right? So obviously you're going to get more outbreaks like that. One school in the system had a death rate of nearly 70%. According to a study performed in 1909, 30 to 60% of students died within their first 5 years attending the school. The Canadian government also used schools to perform nutritional experiments, like Tuskegee experiment kind of shit, purposely underfeeding some children as part of a control group. Children were also used as test tuberculosis vaccines before the vaccines were released to the
This
general
is
public.
fucked.
The exact number of deaths is unable to be determined due to the schools not reporting the deaths and burying the children in unmarked graves so as to avoid legal repercussions or probably investigations. That
So
would not
like,
have gone
how does
well.
that happen with the family? Like,
The family had no rights. They were far, far away for a reason, and then years and years later, they would
and
be like,
this
"Hey,
right
your
here,
kid's dead."
and this shit right here is exactly why we should know where these children from
These
the border are going.
122,000 children since January.
Yeah,
and
where the fuck they're going.
well, I know part of where they're going now, and we'll get to that later. But
Just tell me it's not as bad as this.
it's I can't speak to that. I don't know what the conditions are yet. Current official estimates place the number of dead between 3,500 and 6,000.
That's fucked, man. Like, that's fucked on a whole other level. You know, I think, like, look, I just, this is, you know, this is where people, like, you want people, like, I want people to be able to come to America. Like, I think that we live in I think we live in the greatest country on the face of the planet. You know, the shit we bitch about here, the shit we complain about here is things that other countries and other people, the realities that they live, they would dream of, right?
They don't even have the time.
They
to
don't
worry
have
about
the
this
time
shit,
to
yeah.
worry about it. So, but, you know, so I think that, look, I do think the country's a great place. I do think that, you know, I'm proud to know that we have a country where people feel safe and they want to come to. I mean, you're talking about, you've got people from Honduras who are coming across, trying to swim across. I mean, you watch these videos and I don't care who you are, unless you're just some sociopath, like, it has to make you feel good, like, to see, like, when you see somebody come across, swimming across the river, and they lay down on the ground and start kissing the fucking dirt that we take for granted, man, that's huge. Huge. You know what? Most people, these people, just for the hope to get here, have done more to get here than most people in the United States have ever done for the fucking country living here, right? So, but my big fear is that if we don't get them here right, like, there's going to be fucking kids
Well,
that are going to bad places.
If you think, if you believe the old maxim that about 2% of people are shitbags, right? Which I do believe. I think 2% of people are fucked in the head some way. They've either been fucked by their experiences or they were fucked from the beginning. And they
or the
are
Catholic Church.
Well, yeah, they're now predators. They're fucking leeches, whatever it is. One of the two. They're very rarely in the middle. They're either leeching off somebody or they're preying on someone.
Yeah.
2%. There's about, 180 million adults in America, I think. 180 million people over 18. What's 2% of that? 3.6 million people? You don't think those people are fucking out there, like, literally preying on somebody right now? 3.6 million people. That's about 1 million more than what's in our active and military right now. So that's how many shitbags there are out in the world. Not all of them are fucking sociopaths. Some people are just kind of assholes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what percentage of that 3.6 million has to be truly evil to affect shit like this? Obviously not that many, because they tend to work their way into positions of power.
Yeah.
Because they need that power to do the fucking predatory shit that they need to do or that they feel like they need to do. So I'm glad that CBP has decided to start actually vetting people that are taking care of children. Great, dude. Super, super great. I mean, that's nice. But, man, you're a day late and a fucking dollar short. And now we don't know where these kids are. I mean, we know where some of them are. They're with, I don't even know if I should tease the name out yet of the organization. No, I won't. Sorry about that, guys. You're going to have to tune in Friday for that. It's really, really bad what's happening. Like abandoned buildings being used as detention facilities. No one looking into this shit. No, people didn't even know this stuff existed until relatively recently. And when you wonder why I worry about the government and politicians and shit like that, this is why. Because they enable this kind of, they allow this shit to happen.
Yeah, I think they handle things as objects, not as humanization.
Right. And look, maybe at scale, it's difficult to, I mean, I would assume that a fucking,
Yeah,
that
but
the commanding general of a war has to think about more than each individual soldier to get the job done.
Yeah, but you can't get on you can't get on the news and say, oh, we don't have a problem, let them in, blah, 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 blah. You can't do that and then be fucking like letting them in to send them to a worse place than they came from.
Well, I mean, if somebody comes into your house or your place of business, more aptly, somebody comes into your business and there's shit all over the floor and they slip and break their hip, they're going to fucking sue you. But if you're a child and you come into the United States expecting to be taken care of, you can be sent to a detention facility until you're 18 and mistreated the entire time with no recourse and then be deported still.
Yeah.
Or maybe not make it out alive at all. So the legacy of this school, to get back to this Canadian horse shit, some victims of the residential school are still alive today. And according to a 2012 report, students who attended the schools have a higher likelihood of being diagnosed with at least one of the major chronic mental conditions. A sample of 127 survivors show that 50% have criminal records, 65% have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, 21% have been diagnosed with major depression, 7 with anxiety disorders, and 7 with borderline personality disorder. Many of the students have partially or completely lost their ability to speak their native languages, even if they were fluent when they first entered the school. And the stigma created by the school system in regards to transmission of culture from elders to the younger generations has been linked to overrepresentation of indigenous languages on the list of endangered languages in Canada. So it wasn't about just murdering people. Like, you were robbing people of their culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to think about this stuff in modern era because things move so quickly. You know what I mean? But these are like hundreds, thousands of years old traditions that people hold on to. And I understand the idea. I would love that when people move to America, they fucking learn English. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Seems like a pretty good idea to do it because most of us here speak English, frankly. But, I'm not going to get fucking pissed off about it.
Here's but on the backside, I'll say this.
And I'm certainly not going to force them.
But today is a lot easier than it was 30 years ago, right? Like, there's translators, there's what, you know what I mean? Like, so I got it, right? Yeah. It would make it more convenient for us.
Yeah.
But look, we are fortunate enough to provide a system where you can be successful here speaking any language.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is true.
With technology. So, you know what I mean? Like, I get, we would be able to communicate with them. But honestly, if they gave a fuck about communicating with us, they would learn English, right?
You would think so, yeah. But, I mean, maybe they don't care about that. A lot of people just stick to their
culture, which is
their
fine.
Own culture, yeah. You can't – there is no world where it's okay, particularly against children, but against anyone, to try to rob them of the culture that makes them who they are. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I think, no.
You know what I mean? I mean, if we're – the point of this country is to get everybody –
the melting pot.
Well, I mean, maybe a little bit. Still 70% white. But, I mean, like, the point was to get everybody here represented and figure out what the best for the world is and be a leader on the global stage. Like, think of the United States as the UN, but one that's supposed to work correctly. We get everybody in the same room, mix everybody together, let them live amongst each other, have conversations, figure shit out, and then in America be an example of how a Palestinian and Jewish person are supposed to treat one another in a real way, right? You're supposed to be an example for people. So when I see this fucking, when I see somebody clubbing an Asian dude over the head because they think he personally spread some virus, or when I see a Jewish person get beaten up because of something the Israeli government, a place they may not have ever been to, did something, that shit really irks me. I mean, that bothers me a lot, that people are that fucking stupid. And that's not what this is meant to be.
No.
This wasn't – it also wasn't meant to be a safe space, though, right? It's meant to be a space where you can come work hard and achieve shit.
Yeah, it's
that
like
was the point.
It's a place for anybody, but it's a place where you come here and you work hard, and by doing that, you protect what we have. The idea here is that – I mean, let me ask you this. Name one other country where you could go from literally living on the streets to having the opportunity to be president of the United States or president, leading the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's different here.
This country's a great place.
It is.
Yeah, Dan.
Excuse me.
They got a great question over here in the comments. Can you please start being fucking nice to me?
I'm never gonna do that.
Okay.
And it's I got high hopes for this country, and it seemed like for a very long time, one side or the other would be at least tugging in the right direction, even if they were failing. And when I see all of these, all the people who rejected it for a long time start to also embrace division, it upsets me. Like you're asking for a war by doing that, right? The more you separate yourself from other people, the more you're asking for fucking conflict. It doesn't make any sense. I thought we were
We're
done
fine.
with that shit.
Dude, we're fine. We're fine. I'm telling you, man. Like, I got that the people who are on fucking social media, the people who are on fucking line, like, I got it. But let me tell you something. We're not divided right now. The majority of America doesn't give a fuck about these petty ass things that people are fighting over.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the majority of America voted for the guy who authored the crime bill and the woman who enforced it for the longest amount of time in the largest city and state
I think
that
that.
it was enforced in. So, I mean, I don't.
But what percentage of Americans voted?
I don't know. But, you know, maybe people feel disenfranchised from the system. Maybe.
Yeah, they don't believe that their fucking vote matters anymore. You can't like your vote matters doesn't ring a bell with anybody anymore. That's not the call to action that anybody's gonna go fucking vote for anymore. You know what I mean?
The calls to action are always like trying to show you how much you hate the other person, so you'll vote for me.
Yep.
Like we can't allow this person, like as bad as I am, we can't allow this person.
Well, when
to
you
get
start
in.
claiming fraud all the time, why would people show up to fucking vote?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he probably should have saved that for after the election. But, you know, it is what it is. It's the ball's in our collective court here, folks. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going wrong in the government right now. And everybody seems on all sides of the issues, of all issues, to be unhappy with the way the government's doing things. One way or another, right? Nobody wants... people don't want their rights infringed by anyone,
No.
right? And that is that is the unfortunate reality of America right now, is that we focus more on the sides we're taking instead of just being on each other's sides. You know what I mean? Like, who is the real enemy here?
So, if you look at it, 61% of Americans showed up to vote, right? Biden won 51% of those votes cast. So, 30% of Americans voted for Biden.
Right.
How many of those you think voted against Trump?
You know, I would say there's a lot of older or entrenched people who vote for Democrat no matter what. And there was probably a lot of younger people who voted because they didn't like Trump.
Okay, so what do you think percentage in that?
I have no idea. It'd be pure speculation.
Yeah.
But even if it was 5 or 10%, you know.
Either way, it's not the majority.
No, it's not the majority of the country. No, it's not. I mean, it's certainly not the majority of even voters. So, you know, I don't know.
And here we go. Beat NGU, whatever. I do not support Second Amendment infringement.
Yeah, what does that mean? Second
Yeah.
Amendment.
What does that
infringement?
mean there? You want a little attention over here. Let's give him let's give him a little bit of attention.
Gustavo, yeah, you're absolutely right. Communists always do use social justice to fool people. This has happened time and time again.
Yes.
Like we're going to clean up the schools and give everybody a paycheck every month and blah blah blah, and all of a sudden you're fucking done. You know what I mean? It happens. It's happened so many times. It's almost embarrassing now that it's happening again and people aren't fucking paying attention to it. It's very bizarre to me. But, you know, let's see, Gates, around the White House. My aunt voted for Biden even after I pointed out she disagreed with his entire platform. Yeah. Yeah, that's, I would say that's pretty common. I don't think that's unique to the left or Democrats, by the way. There are people, like when I was growing up, when people would ask each other how they're voting, it would be like, oh, I'm just, always just vote straight Republican, whatever, whoever's on there.
Straight ticket.
Like, yeah, like what is that? What do you mean straight Republican? What if
What if
there
one
was
of them
some,
suck?
what if somebody was like truly evil on that list? You're still going to vote Republican, or what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
I guess he went away.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
Gustavo's from Venezuela, so he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, I would say so. They don't. They've
Yeah.
they've done some. Well, I say done. They continue to do weird shit down there. Wiz is asked me if I've ever heard of anyone fleeing capitalism. No, not one motherfucker. Well, maybe like 2 or 3 people have left the America to go to Russia or fucking Venezuela or some stupid shit like that. But they probably have mental disorders. You're the one who said non-vets shouldn't train in gear.
Not what I said.
Jesus fucking
That's
Christ.
what I said, you fucking idiot.
Jesus Christ. All right, dude. What he said was all the stuff we said at the top of this show. You can
Yeah.
go
You should go back and listen to
listen to that, and you can comment on it and do whatever you want.
it. Do whatever you want with your little freedom.
To your heart's
Your little heart's
happy. No one
desire.
gives a shit if you want to fucking go buy a bunch of stuff and play Army.
Yeah.
Do it, buddy.
Yeah, play it.
Do your thing. It's super awesome.
All right, cool.
Let's see. What was this? I need your shoe size so I can send you Sperry's for boating summer. Oh, shit. My shoe size is 12, my man.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm going to get the whitest man shoes on earth. Bob's going to get jealous. Walked into the studio this morning, and I was like, what'd you guys do this weekend? And he was like, some white shit. I don't know. Painted his house or something. What'd you do?
Painting with my wife, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
Wide. He wants them wide.
Yeah, wide for sure. Yeah, I got a wide foot.
These airshofters are getting out of hand.
Oh, well,
White Sperry's are coming. Hell yeah, Dan.
can't wait. They better be, I mean, like, if they're not white enough. When I say white, I don't mean the color of the shoe. I mean super white man bullshit. Like embarrassingly white man bullshit. And I am super pale. So, yeah. Anyways, I like the Second Amendment. Big fan of it.
Big fan of Second
I
Amendment.
actually, I do like when all these dum-dums buy all the gear and shit, because then you have to make more of it, which makes it easier to get.
Yeah, true.
Because I buy it too. Anyways, yeah, my beard is looking a little long. I didn't have a chance to get it cut before I went out of town this time.
I like it.
Oh,
I like it, man.
yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go. We'll see you again on Friday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Tune in next time and
Hey,
see you in hell.
see you in hell.